Hey guys, I am going to try this differently. Usually I put this on YouTube, on Facebook, but today I'm going to try it on YouTube. And I thought instead of uploading a video that today I'd just come on here and talk about some of the things that I normally do on the radio show. So today is a special one. We're going to talk about National Professional Fishing League, their Stop 2. We'll talk about the Bass Elites, which was just phenomenal. We'll give YouTuber creator shout-outs. We'll talk about iCast because we need to at some point in time. We'll talk about Guggenbaits because I got an email from a Guggenbait guy that I'm just going to clarify some things on the closer looks and the stuff that I do. We'll talk about the classic. And then I really would like to hear your thoughts about, I have another motorized lure. I don't know if you can see that through there. They sent me another one. And quite honestly, I'm going to ask if you think I should go ahead and do another review on these things, because quite honestly, I'm not really sure if I should or if I shouldn't. And hey, hello, Chris. Let me say hello to everyone too. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe and do all other stuff. You know how it works. Great job by Brandon Carr. Yes, Brandon Carr did great up to that last day, and really we'll get into that. Lead Livesey, what he did that last day was something else. Well, I should mention right off the bat, we talked about the NPFL a couple few weeks ago, and I caught some grief, which is understandable. I'm going to tell you guys how it is. Hey Booster, I'm going to tell you my opinion, and what I say is just my opinion. You can look into it and go ahead and check out what I say versus what you believe in, and having a mutual conversation and agreement that we're allowed to have differences of opinions is really the key to the success of what I have always tried to do with the radio show and now with the podcast and the YouTube channel. I want to hear your voices and what you guys think. Hey Shannon. So yes, I'm doing fine. Just got back from swimming. So some tough ones on the NPFL, but I was just keeping it real. But I have to say, the NPFL, which they were at Texarkana this last weekend, and our boy Keith Carson won. I have to say, it was very enjoyable, and I'm not joking. Probably 10,000% better run than what they did for the first one. And they're, of course, going to have their ups and downs, and they're not going to come out of the gate just hitting their stride right away. But if you watch the first one, I'll be honest, the first one I had a hard time watching after 2 days. This one I was able to watch. Well, I fished on Friday, so I can't really say I got to watch Friday. But I watched on Thursday, and I watched on Saturday, and everything about it was so much better. First off, they actually had sponsors, which is a big deal. If NPFL is going to succeed in what they're doing, they have to have sponsors behind them, because it just won't work just collecting the money from the guys. Because, as we've said, it's the most expensive tournament with the least amount of money in the major groups. If you consider NPFL versus the Elites and Major League Fishing, they pay more per tournament to win less money. And that's all right. These guys are very happy with it. Again, it's a complete love fest on it, but that's good. But they had Progressive Insurance, and they had Fisherman Central, and another nicotine thing that I was there watching that had it in there. Booster says I was a little bored watching it. I was interested to see how Rob Turcola did. Congrats to him. Yes, Rob Turcola finally cashed after 8 or 9 tournaments or whatever it was. Finally got his first cash of $9,000 or maybe a little bit more. So congratulations. He was one of my talking points. So in my opinion, the NPFL went to another level on this one. They looked more professional. They looked, I'm going to put my notes right here, sorry, so I don't look like I'm looking over here. They looked more professional, and it had a better feel to it. It had an uninterrupted coverage, just like Bass does. It's almost like they took the scenario of what Bass has done and kind of implemented some of the things into their live broadcast. I thought it was there was a lot less talking and being funny and just telling it as it was, because really, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, NPFL is going to be successful when these anglers become known to all of us. Don't make it about the commentators. And I know they're using the commentators to get more people to watch. I understand that. I appreciate that. But make it about the anglers. I want to know as much about the anglers at all times. I want to know where they're from, what type of their strong points of fishing. I want to know more about the anglers, because the more we know, the more we become invested in their success and their failures. Not that their failures are going to bring us joy, but we want to see our guys do good. Just like this weekend, Keith Carson was in there winning it wire to wire practically. I think he did. And I was invested because I knew Keith, and I was very happy that he won. So I want to see them. I would like to see them continue to improve, and they will, because they in my opinion, that first one was tough. This one was completely enjoyable, but a lot more enjoyable to watch. I thought that the sound was a little low, and I think that's just something they need to figure out. And the other thing, the only negative thing I would say, was that I didn't like when the commentators talked over the anglers. There was a time when Keith Carson was talking about how he was fishing a jig, and either switch off the commentators and listen to Keith, or switch off Keith and just let the commentators do it. That's the way I would. That's the way I would go about it. Chris, I'm going to be talking about Lake Fork in just here a second. And the other thing is, there was a lot of repeating. I know every time they got to go to a commercial, I mean, there's other ways to say paying the bills. There's, hey, we got to go commercial. We'll see you in 2 minutes. It's the little things that paying the bills every time a commercial break comes up is gets a little bit annoying. But that's something Luke can work on. So I'm sure they'll probably go into it. I actually thought that they should do something like, hey, we got to take a break. We'll see you back in 2 minutes. Thanks to Progressive Insurance. Remember, pump those sponsors, because we got the same commercial in every break, and it was something else. I also like that they finally had the commercials with a small screen on the side that had the anglers. Except the one problem I would say is, turn that angler audio off during commercials. It was annoying. It was if I was a sponsor, I would say, hey, you got to do that, and that's just little things that you can do. And the biggest thing I enjoyed was that they had giveaways for the people that were at the crowd. And here's something that was probably overlooked by most people. So I covered the first event here in Toho on Major League Fishing. Now, when Major League Fishing had all these anglers drop over here, it was a major thing. It was one of those things that people were really, we were all kind of freaking out. We didn't know what was happening, what was going to go on. And it was kind of scaled out that it was going to be a huge event for Major League Fishing at the first event here at Toho. Now, I know this was their NPFL's second tournament, but on the final day, Showdown Saturday, which I like that thing, Showdown Saturday, they had a exceptional crowd. I mean, an exceptional crowd. And they gave away lots of things, and it was nice to see that Texarkana showed up to show support for these anglers that they really don't know. That was unreal. So hats off to the NPFL guys, and Brad, and Luke, and David, and Fat Cat. Great job, guys, for your second tournament. You did something exceptionally special. I know now we don't know all the anglers yet, but in terms of looking at it as a media person and someone that's going back and checking these things out and watching it overly critical, because that's the whole thing. You did a great job. It was 100,000 times better than the first tournament. And if that's the way you can continue to improve, you guys are going to have a very successful tournament trail. And congratulations. So there you go. Now on to the elites. The elites went up against the NPFL, and it was really tough to figure out which one was going which way. I had Keith Carson, who I was extremely happy and I wouldn't say close friends with, but I consider an acquaintance that I really like, and hopefully we'll have him back on here. But we also had on the elites, on day 2 and 3, we had our boy Brandon Card. killing it, just killing it. It had a great lead. I will say the elites picked the perfect place to go fishing at the perfect time. I know people didn't like my comments on, some of the people didn't like my comments that I thought the Sabine River was a bore fest. I apologize. But that's the way I felt. I can tell you, I loved Lake Fork. I loved every bit. There was a time that I said to myself, I want to go fish there right now. I mean, I want to go right now. So that shows you, because that just shows you how great of a tournament they had. They had big fish. I mean, giant fish. And it wasn't like they were catching dinks like in Sabine. And you want to know what? Sabine River was the lowest averaged fish in bass history. Think about that. In all the tournaments that they've had the lowest amount, that was the lowest average weight of fish. So when they go to Lake Fork and it becomes an absolute slugfest, it was a beautiful, beautiful thing. I will say, I'm sure, I said this in the last one, I am sure those guys are going to have neck issues because all of them just stare down and look at their forward-facing sonar. If you're fishing offshore and not punching and flipping and that kind of stuff, all they're doing is looking at those forward-facing sonars. And that is a whole nother, we could do a whole show about how forward-facing sonar is completely changed tournament fishing. If you don't have one on the front of your boat, you don't do as well. Unless you're flipping and you're NPFL and you're at Texarkana, then that's the whole thing. Lake Fork was just unreal. Let me make sure I say hi to Jim, and I don't know how you say N5KDA, sorry. Fishing with Fred, Eric, hey guys. Booster said, I got irritated watching bass having Zaldane fetish in coverage. I also noticed a ton of seeing longer commercials. So bass does have an exceptionally long commercial break, and they repeat all the winners and stuff like that. But I mean, they have to do it. You got to give they have to give a break. I mean, technically, I should be running commercials during this because there's people that pay to be on here. Hold on. And cheers. So, it was, the elites were pretty phenomenal. And I'm going to say this, and people might not like this. I like that Mercer wasn't there. I like the fresh blood. I know Mercer did great during, well, he probably thought he did fantastic in his segment, but I thought the announcer did really well. It's really hard to fill those shoes that Mercer has. Mercer is, he's a staple in bass. He's a staple, but I thought the new guys did really good, and that's really a tough job to do. So congrats to them. I don't know his name. I put it in there, but I thought it was enjoyable to watch. That's all. So, that's how it is. The huge fish were just amazing. The Lake Fork showed up and just proved to be one of the best bass fisheries in the state. And my boy Brandon being day 2 and 3 leader, I was pulling for him completely day 4. But I'll tell you what, if you're going to lose, you better lose to someone that just smashes them. And what Lee Livesey did on day 4 was unreal. It was one of the best things I've ever watched in a very long time. So he just smashed it. It was just one of those things that I was just so happy to watch. Now again, I was rooting for Brandon. I will say I would tell that to Lee himself. But to watch what he did and how he overthought and the fish that they caught at Lake Fork, I actually at some point in time I started questioning, how really good is the fishery in Florida compared to Texas? Because Texas has actually shown up and shown out this year. I'm not joking. Texas fishing is probably the best in the nation now. And it's really exciting to see. And Major League Fishing is in Texas this week too. So I would imagine it's going to be, Major League Fishing is just going to crunch it again. Major League Fishing's schedule this year was the best schedule out of everybody. And I know people aren't going to like that opinion, But that's just my opinion. They're going to the right places at the right time, where they're not catching dinks, that they're catching giant studs. And I think this week is going to be another one where it's just going to be amazing. Jim just said Livesy's smallest fish was 7 pounds 6 ounces. I mean, where in the world do you catch fish that size? Honestly, where do you catch fish that size? The smallest one is 7.6. I can't even go to my frog pond and catch 5 fish that weigh 7.6 right now. Maybe I can, but I mean, it's a joke. But imagine that. He had, I think he ended up with 43 pounds or something. It was just unbelievable. It was fantastic fishing. They hit it at the right time, and really so did NPFL. NPFL hit their tournament on the right time too. I hate my hat crooked. I think I have a crooked head, by the way. NPFL picked the right one there too. So stop telling everyone Texas is on fire. I'm sorry, Chris. I apologize. But really, if you're from Texas, your fishery is as good as anything I've ever seen. I mean, every place I saw in videos this year. I don't even know his name. He's one of the big YouTuber guys. He had like 5 fish for like 65 pounds. I mean, where do you catch that kind of fish? I mean, it's ridiculous. The fishing is just phenomenal. So my hats are off. My hat is off to the Texas wildlife people and how they do things. And as much as it's crazy to say this, I enjoyed as much as I like the fish to come across the stage because I like to see it, I enjoyed that those fish got caught, weighed, and released instantly. There's something to be said that format that Major League Fishing is doing is really successful, other than they weigh every fish. Thank you, Booster. It was Milliken. And it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I don't know Milliken, I should say that. But his thing was unbelievable. So getting back to it, Texas just is on fire, and what they're doing there is it's phenomenal. So I commend them, and like I said, I think that catch photo release is a good thing to do. Granted, it is fun to watch 5 fish go across the stage. I agree with that. But I did enjoy that they only brought 1 fish in that was a certain size and weighed it for big fish. So that kind of tournament might be the way that things go. I mean, that's not going to be what everyone likes to hear, but if we're going to keep our fishery safe and positive, then that might be the way to go. Now, having said that, I know for a fact that there's very few fish that die in the bass elites. Those guys take such good care of the live wells and everything else, and putting in the right stuff to aerate them, and they don't. The mortality rate is very, very. There's not many dead fish. That's just the best way to put it. But how they did that Texas thing and they do the Texas Fest is really exceptional. And honestly, I think this weekend Major League Fishing is going to put on an absolute clinic on big fish. I think it's going to be unbelievable. So I'm looking forward to watching Major League Fishing, and I think that starts either maybe tomorrow or the next day. I don't really know. So again, I should say congratulations to Keith Carson, congratulations to Lee Levacy, congratulations to Rob Turcola, who's had a rough start but cashed. And you want to know what? All it does is take 1, and once 1 is done, I bet you we see more and better things from him. Did you see my paper switch? Okay, next, speaking of Rob Turcola, we need to have a little light conversation. You saw my closer look of the Guggenbaits Toad. Either you liked it or you didn't like it. Hold on. I'm going to tell you how yes, Chris, the classic is 55 minutes. Yeah, I'm going to talk about the classic here in a second, but the classic should be something else. So I did that closer look of the Guggenbaits Toad. If you don't know, my all the stuff you see on these closer looks, it isn't like I just whip them up. There's a little bit of work that goes into them, especially if I'm doing the underwater footage. It isn't stock footage. And if you see something that's above it and the bait running, I actually put a drone up, cast underneath the drone, and let you see that bait on top. There really is a lot of work that goes into them. But the reason behind it is that I hopefully will help you make an educated decision on if you want to use that bait and how it works, how it looks underwater, what the flaws are, what are the positives, all that stuff. I got a lovely email, and I had to do some research on this young man. He was 17-year-old, super fan of the Guggen Baits guys, or the Guggen guys. Email telling me how wrong I was about the breaking down of the toad. And instead of shooting him a bad email back or saying, hey, look, this is what I found, I just sent him some footage. And I didn't put it in the video. When it comes down to it, I want you guys to know I'm trying to be as honest as possible in these things. But the Guggen toad was crap. It didn't live up to it. Caught fish. I'm not going to say that it caught fish, but I had a bluegill, and I'm talking a bluegill that was like this big. A bluegill swiped at that bait and took off a leg. Now I thought, well, okay, one leg missing, I can still catch fish. The very next cast, another bluegill came by and took off its other leg. Now, a bluegill doesn't have a very big mouth. I mean, I have a big mouth, a bass has a big mouth, but a bluegill is a small mouth, and they're a lot more paper thin. And you guys know, if you're watching this, you know what a bluegill is. I don't need to explain it to you. But a bluegill took off 2 of the legs of those toads. That wasn't a bass. That wasn't anything else. A bluegill. So I want this young man, who I respect that he sent me an email. I understand. I appreciate your opinion on how great those baits are, because I'm not saying they didn't catch fish, but in terms of durability, they are shit. They suck. That's plain and simple. You can see it in every one of those guys' videos. Every time they do a video, they're completely changing a bait every time they get a bite or they catch a fish. And having a bait that only lasts one bite is not good. So again, to this young man, I'm not going to throw his name out there. I'm happy you're a super fan. I appreciate the email. I know you're going to get some prize packs because I told you I'd send them to you. But if we're going to look at durability for $6 for 5 baits, I want them to last at least 2 fish. So there you have it. Hey, Mark. Hopefully I put that on there. If I didn't, I can't see where I put all the comments. Next, if you remotely have watched I don't do much on Instagram, and I know people are asking me to do more on Instagram. I apologize. I have so much things to do. If you happen to watch the Get Your Fish on Instagram page, I want to show you quite possibly the greatest looking dragonfly you will ever see in your life. I don't know if I can. I'm not very good at doing that. Let me do that. Can you see this thing? How insane is that? Look at that thing. Let me put it over there. Is that the most beautiful thing in the world? This is a custom bait. I'm doing a closer look on it. I'll be honest. There's a pretty good shot that this never hits the water. It's a custom bait, and it took a long time for this guy to make it, and that thing is not cheap. But look at that thing. You don't think that thing will get swallowed? I think this is one of the most impressive lures, custom lures I've ever seen in my life. And he's got it so it's weedless for me, and I am just so happy with this. He sent me extra wings. If you look there, let me decline this. He sent me extra wings, and it's just unbelievable. Let me make sure. So I'm very happy. I'm going to do a closer look on that. Okay, next, iCast. We are on the final road to getting iCast here. iCast is if you don't know what iCast is, it's the American Sport Fishing Association conference. It's not for it's for media and for buyers. The public is not allowed into it. We are going to do a whole bunch of stuff during iCast, some lives, but every day I'm going to come home and make sure that you see some of the stuff. I think Les, who's on here, Funman0804, he's going to be helping me. We have Mike with Tackle Webs who's going to be doing something. Miss Fishing Florida Radio, who's now Miss Get Your Fish on Marcel, is going to do something. It was expensive, Jeff. But it's going to be a really great event. So keep a lookout. If you want me to interview someone special at iCast, just email me or text. Well, if you don't know, most people don't know my text, but email me or just put a comment on here and I'll make sure that I find that person, because as of right now, I'm not attending the Classic. I know that's going to be a big thing for a lot of people. I am not going to go to the Classic, and there's a lot of reasons why. Particularly, it's more of a personal issue that I have with one person at Bass, and I just don't want to see him. I think that seeing them is just going to take away from the fun that I would normally have, and I could probably go and just ignore this person, but when you have the media stuff, media commitments that you do, you always run into the same people over and over and over. So at this point in time, I think the Classic just isn't for me. Just like I didn't attend the Bass Elites here in St. John's was the same reason. I just don't want to deal with the negativity and the drama that comes with this person. So I apologize that I'm not going, and I know people like that coverage and stuff like that, but right now I think I'm skipping the Classic as of right now. Okay. If I'm wrong, comment below and tell me why, because you guys might change my mind for all I know. Isn't it weird that I put my head down like this and it gets darker and then it works? Okay, next on the list. You guys saw my motorized bait, the whatever it was called. I don't even know what the name of the bait was. That had that motorized bait that I took a hammer to, and you can find it on the YouTube channel. I have received another one of those baits. You can see it right here. You can see that little motorized thing. Good sticky sharp things. This is another company that has stolen, I think, the idea that the first company did. Now, I'll be honest, the first company was one of the worst companies I've ever dealt with, and I paid for the lure. So I'm wondering if I should go try to catch a fish with this. This one's from Oh Cool Stool. Craziest, dumbest name ever, too. And they sent one to me, and they're like, look, ours will work for sure over the one that you had. And to be honest, I'm kind of like, do I really want to put the effort into this? Because quite honestly, I've had 3 or 4 or 5, I bet you I've had 10 people tell me that the lures that they bought from that other company all did the same thing that mine did. And they got on the YouTube channel and commented nonstop about how wrong I was, and that I was, I was salty. I was salty about it. And really, you want to know what? I was salty after it, because I spent a day doing baloney, or I would say something else, to get that lure to work properly, and it never did. And then, of course, at the end, I took the hammer to it. And you want to be honest, the hammer felt good. I enjoyed beating the living shit out of that lure. I enjoyed it more than anything. It was unbelievable. It gave me like goosebumps, and I felt like I was accomplishing something, because quite honestly, after making that video, I would never use that lure ever to do that. I would never. Chris asked, Steve, have I ever used a Bodo Chug? No, I haven't. If you want to send me pictures, hold on. I'm going to add my email address right here. Y'all can email me. Hold on, Fishing Florida. Oh, I need to learn how to spell. Let's see if that goes. I'm going to put that on. There's my email address, steve@fishingfloridaradio.com. You can send me the pictures. If you want me to use the things, send it to me. If you want a prize pack, I got prize packs from DOA and Culprit Riptide and all sorts of stuff. If you want one of them, you can send me an email, but I will tell you, if you don't send me your address in your email, you will not get it. I can't just magically guess where you all live. I wish I had that power, but if you want one of the prize packs, I think there's 6 or 7 places that does prize packs still. So all I do is send your name to those people, and they send you free tackle. It's easy. It's easy. It's quick and easy. Now, don't keep coming back to me saying, oh, I haven't got anything yet. They will send it at their convenience. It isn't that they just drop everything to make you first, because they have paying customers. This is free stuff that you're going to get from Mirror Lure, or Doa Worms, TTI Blakemore, Mirror Lure. I might have said that one already. Culprit Riptide, Starbright Startron, who's been with me for like 8 years, and others. So, if you want one, by all means, email me and I'll get it out. So, tell me what you think. Should I go? Should I do a review on that other motorized lure? I want to know. Comment below and tell me what you think. Seriously. Hank, you just have to come over to the house and you can have anything I want. Yeah, Chris, email me and I will put you on the list too if you want prize packs. Okay, I have been exceptionally busy lately. So if people have tried to email me and other things, I apologize if I don't get back to you immediately. Man, it isn't that I'm not talking to you or doing whatever. It's just been exceptionally busy lately. I haven't done any of my own work in a couple weeks. I've been working on a video for Tackle Webs, and I've spent way too many hours working on it at this point in time. But when it's all done, I think it'll be pretty cool, and I cannot wait to show it to you guys. But on Friday, I went and filmed with Patrick Sabile of Sabile Lures, and then I also went and with us was a gentleman from Power Pole, and we went and fished Tarpon Springs. And I have to tell you, from somebody who loves saltwater fishing, and I love bass fishing, I love all of it, it was absolutely exceptional. For our local guys who go fishing Mosquito Lagoon, we have a problem in the lagoon. We have algae blooms, we don't have grass, we don't have anything going on anymore. It is completely opposite over on that other side. It is completely opposite on the other side. They have beautiful grass flats, they have sand patches, they have everything. And we absolutely put a clinic on topwater fish. And I'm not joking. We caught a bunch of trout using the new shrimp, the gnat shrimp from Sabile, or a band of anglers. We caught a ton of those. We used the dart spin, the dart prop, caught a ton of fish on that. And then we put those, I think I've done both of them, the Zorus Pachinko and the Asturi. If you haven't seen those lure, well, I'll show you. Hold on. Oh, maybe I won't. Hold on. You guys are catching. This is how lures come to me. They come in boxes like this, and then they're overfilled. I'm not sure if I have a Zorus Pachinko or anything in this box. This was the stuff I needed to bring with me over the weekend. Oh, I think this is a Zorus. No, that isn't. Oh, crap. Sorry. Anyway, you can go to the YouTube channel, and you'll see closer looks for Zorus, Asturi, and Pachinko. If you haven't seen those closer looks, these two lures cast as good as anything I've ever seen in my life. And the Pachinko especially, if you are a topwater person, the Pachinko, actually you can keep it in the strike zone better than any lure I've ever used. And we caught snook and oversized redfish and trout and lizardfish ate the thing. We caught everything on this topwater bait, and we were casting so far away. These fish had no clue that we were on the flat. I mean, we were cast the Asturi probably cast on a just a rough guesstimate 150 to 200 feet. I mean, we were so far away and working it, back and forth like a topwater walk the dog. I've got a couple great videos of redfish swiping at this lure and missing it. Their whole face coming out of the water. Now, if you've never seen a redfish, their mouth is on the bottom of their face. So when they have to eat a topwater, they have to get their whole head out of the water and attack. And they were coming up and just swiping and missing because the lure was going so fast. So there's a bunch of video that we're going to see that you'll be able to see soon, hopefully soon, whenever I get to editing it. But it was a great day, and if you're a local Floridian and you want to go for a great day or morning or afternoon of fishing, I would recommend hitting Tarpon Springs. The grass flats are beautiful. The fishing is phenomenal. It's not as pressured. I mean, we went to a boat ramp. It was on Friday. There were probably 5 or 6 boats, guides on that area, and some of the shrimp. We hit a shrimp boat that was shrimping, and he was pulling out shrimps that were like this, and that is, I'll show you. They were getting shrimps that were the size of this. This is a new lure from Patrick Sabile, the wide back minnow, that were this size. Now I don't know if you can tell, my hand is 9 inches long from there to there. So this is probably 6.5 inches. They were 6.5 inch shrimp. They were giant shrimp. If someone wants this lure, they can email me and I'll send it to them. But you got to know it's a floating lure. Good lure, too. But wonderful day, and I got to thank the guys from Power Pole. And Power Pole has something coming out soon that, no joke. It's serious. Once they get it all perfected and it's all ready to go, it's a game changer. It's Power Pole has stepped up their game, and I can't really talk about it. And to be honest, I would show you a picture of some of the stuff that we have. Actually, you want to know what? I'll show you, now that I'm thinking about it, I can show you a picture of the Asturi in a nice redfish that we caught real fast, I think. I need to look at it first to make sure there isn't anything that will get me in trouble. Because there's a certain thing I cannot show you on the pictures. So that one I can't show you. Oh my gosh, now that I'm looking at them. So here's the Asturi with Patrick. This one I won't get in trouble for. Here you go. Maybe. And you can see that right there. That's the Asturi. And that was the size of redfish we were catching. And we did really well. We caught a bunch of snook, a bunch of trout. It was absolutely fabulous. Here's another one, same fish. And that lure just flat out smoked fish. I'm not joking. It smoked them. So it was really amazing to watch, and you know, to be able to go out there and fish was phenomenal. So thank you to his name is Dan. I don't think I'll get in trouble with that. He's a national sales manager for Power Pole, and like I said, what Power Pole has coming out is I've known about what they've got coming out for like 3 years, and they've been trying to perfect it for 3 years. I got to see it in action for the first time. Phenomenal. Stupid. Phenomenal. A game changer for fishermen. Not going to be cheap, though, but a game changer for fishermen. So thank you to them. Okay, last but not least, I need to give some shout-outs, some guys I am always going to give some shout-outs to the same people. But before I do that, I should say, if you missed the box unveiling that I sent to Mr. Bass, go to his channel and check out what I did. I've had a couple people ask, can I buy that? I would love to be able to do that and make a bunch to give out and you could buy, but really that is a lot more time than I really have right now. Maybe I'll make another one and do it as a giveaway, because at 6,000 we have that. When we hit 6,000 subs, we have a ton of giveaways. I've got 18 packages of lures for people, and there might be even more. I probably could make one or two more to make it an even 20 packages of a couple lures and 4 or 5 soft plastics in some of them. Some couple people are getting 2 or 3 months of everything that came in Monster Bass and Bass Baits Monthly. And to be honest, I should say Monster Bass has offered to donate some stuff. I just haven't taken them up on it because I just haven't. But I thank Rick for doing that. But anyway, go to the Mr. Bass page and subscribe to his channel. You know, he didn't do a live thing tonight, and I will not be doing live things when he's doing live things on. But he and I are going to do some stuff on Wednesday nights from here on out, starting next week. So you'll see he and I talk about what's going on in the world, ask questions, bounce things off each other. It'll be a lot of fun. And if you love him or you enjoy the crap I spew out of my mouth, you'll enjoy both of us together, because it should be a good collaboration. And we're both just trying to gain more success at this freak of a nature that is called YouTube. But check him out. So I want to make sure I say these are some other guys that are friends, but also at the same time, they work really hard to make content, and we're all small compared to the Lunkers and those guys and Milliken and all those guys, and they started out small and grew to where they are. But you got to give these guys and my videos a thumbs up and subscribe. But if you want to check out some great stuff, John, thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you to Mr. Bass for that too. Go see Flat Out Bank Angling. Good dude, just really tries hard, and he always likes everything I do, and I appreciate that he does that. So go check him out. This one is a really small channel, but it is quite honestly my favorite name channel of all the stuff I watch, and that's Guy with a GoPro Fishing Show. I love that name. He's a guy with a GoPro with a fishing show. So check him out. Also check out Topwater Johnny. Johnny and I are fishing tomorrow afternoon again. We go fishing every Thursday. I know I put a video up this on Monday that was about Topwater Johnny and I fishing. We don't fish together. He kind of goes one way and I go another way, and we yell at each other from across the pond as we catch fish. It's a little awkward and a little weird, but we're not going to be competing against each other, fishing within 5 feet of each other. I mean, we go to one side, he goes to the other side, we have fun, we go fish. I mean, that's how it is. And if you're in town, if one of you guys are in town and you want to go fishing, by all means, email me. I'll put it back up there. Hold on. Where's my email address? There it is, right there. Steve@fishingfloridaradio.com. Put it up there. Email me. You can come to my pond with me. I don't care. I will tell you, if you come over, you'll probably get a lot of other crap, too. Because I got to see the garage. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous full of crap. And I got boxes over here. I mean, it's ridiculous. Actually, the boxes over here are kind of empty right now. I did get a bunch of stuff from Taco Warehouse today. Don't even know if I'm really like that one. And yeah, Booster came over. He got a rod. He left with a rod, I think. I have one left. Thank you, Chris. So guy with the GoPro fishing show. Topwater Johnny. Mr. Bass, of course. Go check him out. One of my closest, and even though I don't talk to him very much, one of my closest friends and someone that I confide in quite a bit. Does some unbelievable videos for the Mosquito Lagoon. He's my boy. Jeff Hammer Fishing. Check out his channel and subscribe. If you like saltwater fishing, you like red fishing, you like trout, you like if he catches a flounder, it goes home with him. But great videos, good quality, and that's what I look for. I like the quality of it. Next, Moss Fishing Adventures. Great dude. Quality wise, ridiculous quality rise. Quality, ridiculous. As good, if not better, than stuff I put out. He does a great job. A fantastic job. I really enjoy watching his stuff. And then, of all things, I talked to Tony yesterday for 45, 50 minutes. We bounced some ideas off each other. Tony from No Redemption Outdoors does pristine work. Pristine. His vernacular is ridiculous. I sound like an absolute moron compared to this dude. But he's a good guy, puts out great content, and hopefully I gave him some ideas, because to be honest, we have the same kind of thought process on how we should be rating these subscription tackle boxes. So I gave him my idea, and my ideas, and hopefully he uses them. But I would go check out No Redemption Outdoors. It's fantastic channel, just like Hammer. So I think I've done all of it. I have one other thing on here that says learning from doing. Oh, I know why. When I do these videos, these closer looks, the biggest thing, I'm not going to be right all the time. I have no problem admitting I'm not right. I'm going to be wrong sometimes, and I'm going to be wrong in the future. There's no doubt about it. I don't mind that. I mean, constructive criticism is all right. I don't mind getting it, to be honest. I don't. I do graphics for a living, so when I do a graphic for somebody and send it to them, and they don't give me a lot of, what they're looking for, they're kind of going with what I think they should do. Some people don't like what that is, and they go, Steve, I was kind of thinking about going this way. When you're able to take constructive criticism, it helps you grow as a person and as a man. That's how I feel. So when I do these closer look videos, a lot of times, there's a whole process to it. I get the lures in, I take the pictures, I start researching the lures, I write the voiceover stuff, I do the intro, I go fish with them, then I do the underwater or drone stuff, and then I put that all together, and that's when you see that closer look. And those closer looks and really learning how to bass fish a lot better has made me a better angler. So while you guys are telling me things and showing me things and telling me how I should do stuff, or giving me pointers on what I do and don't know, like Robo Worm, which I will never live down, I appreciate that you guys give me that feedback. And so constructive criticism is all right. I don't mind it. I really don't. I mean, it's life. I'm not going to take it personal, so don't take everything I say to heart. I'm going to joke around and try to be funny and say stupid things like that's what she said and those kind of things, because that's just my personality. I mean, you really get to see a lot of what I do or how I act, kind of what in the videos. There's a lot held back, but at the same time, it is somewhat me. There is a passion for fishing, and that's why I do these things. And hopefully you get to see these closer looks in these other videos and you enjoy them, and they help you make educated decisions on if you want to buy that lure or if you don't. Because in the Mr. A perfect example, and I didn't say this, in the Mr. Bass box, most of those lures that were in there were some of my all-time favorite lures. That's the God's honest truth. Would I want a stealth blade over a jackhammer? I'd want a jackhammer, but it's a really close one. But if you're fishing pressured lakes and stuff like that, I would rather have a stealth blade. The Blade Aid was wholeheartedly, I believe the Blade Aid's the best trailer on the market. If you want a swim bait trailer, that is the best one on the market. That I don't even think there's any decision on my side of why it's that good. It catches fish. It makes that jackhammer or chatterbait that much bulkier. And to be honest, I put that trailer on spinner baits now. It's that good. The tail is perfect. It's perfect. So in that box, there were a lot of things that were really my favorite stuff that I use all the time. Now I couldn't get Doa worms in time, so that's why I sent him the other stick worms, but they were the color that I like. And I know I probably could have picked better colors for him, but honestly, those are the colors I fish, and I just feel like if I fish them and have success with them, hopefully so will he. So anyway, that's how it was. So guys, I know you guys have been watching this. If there's any questions I can answer, I will be happy to answer them. I feel like I talked like a mile a minute. I'm glad, to be honest. Do you guys want me to do these on YouTube more instead of Facebook? Is this better for you than Facebook? Honestly, I'd love to know. Yeah, hold on. Let me put that up, Jammer. Hey, by the way, let me move this. Hold on. There ain't a fancy shirt underneath it. There's a reason I have to wear those fancy shirts. Oh, hey, Callan. Everyone loves the closer looks. I appreciate that. Les wants me to change my mind out the classic. Yes, YouTube better for me. So maybe I'll do the next. Well, you want to know what? Next Saturday or next Wednesday? Saturday. What the? Next Saturday we will have another one on here. So I like that. The Shimano bait you sent look killer. Oh, you want to know what? Hold on. I have a couple. Hold on. I'd get up. Everyone, I guess, loves YouTube better. Yes, YouTube better. Everyone doesn't know. Go visit. See this one? Callan Plays. If you like, this is my nephew. You know. Please let us know when you want rods you got. So David, I don't order rods anymore. I have a Shimano deal and I have a Castaway deal, and I have hinted to Castaway that I needed a little faster action rods, and they've been out of them. So that's really why I went back to technically the real old trusty. That's what I call my favorite rod. I can cast further with these rods, with the rods I'm using. The problem that they are is at the time when I first got the Karma rods, I got like 25 of them. And I'm not joking, 21 of them broke from all sorts of stuff. But the best thing about these rods is they use a foldable guide. So if you hit a guide, it bends and then snaps back. So that's really why I really like those rods. And when I started with Castaway, it made sense to put those other rods back and to use Castaway in all the videos. However, with these new videos with the slower pace of the bend, the parallel, whatever, the bend of the rod, it makes it such a slower rod that I think that I'm not able to get enough pressure from the hook set or the snapping of setting the hook, that I'm not able to get that hook set in those fish's mouth, and I'm missing a lot of fish. So that's why I went back to the other rods, and my success rate's back to it's a lot better. I will say that I've learned that I've had to, when I'm using that lizard, that 3D lizard from Savage Gear, which is just a fabulous bait, it's really important that you work that bait extremely slow. I mean, extremely slow. So that's kind of it's been like I said in that YouTube stuff. This is a learning thing for me too. I do want to be a good angler. I don't want to be a pro angler. I should make that very clear, because I've had a couple of people ask why don't I go fish against those guys. I don't want to fish against any of those guys. That's the truth. I'm unbelievably competitive, but I don't want to get my ass handed to me by all those guys. And really I have a thought for an idea on a show, but I really think I will offend way too many pro anglers if I have this show idea. But I have an idea. I don't want to say it right now because I think I know the answer, but it might be a little sensitive. Do you have to ask permission from Sonia? So if you don't know, at one point in time, Jeff Hammer. So at one point in time, when I signed with Castaway, I gave Old Trusty to my wife, and I said, "This is going to be your rod from here on out." And then, honestly, after one time fishing with her, I took it back. I had to take that gift back. I watching her abuse this and drop it and just think of it was nothing. I mean, every time she did something to me, my hair on the back of my neck would stand up, and I'd be like, "What is she's going to break this rod?" And I don't have access to these anymore. So then it was like, "You want to know, honey? I ordered you a brand new rod from Castaway, and here's what it is." So I gave her that. I did put a really good reel on it for her. She hasn't used it, and I took all those Karma rods back. That's the truth. She doesn't have access to that anymore. No, you can't do that. So, oh well. I guess we'll do this again next week. We're going to do it live with Mr. Bass. Remember, that'll be on Wednesday. Hopefully we can broadcast on both channels, but if not, I will broadcast on Mr. Bass's channel, and I'll tape it and then just put it back on here, and you can watch it there. But I think he and I are going to have a really good time doing stuff. And I'm looking forward to doing some collabs with him and promoting him as much as possible, because that's what it's about. I'm really not, I want this to be successful as much as possible. Just hate seeing myself. I hate looking at myself in this freaking monitor, to be honest. I hate it. It's horrible. And you see that's the set behind me that I do all the intros on, and actually have a whole bunch of new stuff that'll be going back there. And then now this right here is all used to be ideas. Now it isn't ideas. Now the ideas get written in that yellow legal pad. But some great closer looks coming up too. I should say some really ridiculous closer looks coming up. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. I've never given you a rod, Hammer. Let me put that on. I owe you a rod then. So there's some really, really good closer looks coming up soon. We have the Lipless Crankbaits. Actually, the guys from Thunderhawk Lures sent me a new package, so you might see some first looks at some crankbaits from them. Not saying officially that I can say that, but hopefully. But we have the Lipless Crankbait from Castaic, the Castaic Square Bill. Closer look at the A3 Anglers multi-bait. If you haven't seen that one, that's a really weird one. The ABT Vibe, I got a whole bunch of vibrating jigs that have like two blades to it, or a blade and a spinner bait. And I did closer looks on it, but there's really a lot of great closer looks. I finished the one for the Guggen Revolver, which I probably don't even know if I'll ever upload that one. New bladed jig, Stanley Rocket, 3D Search. I've got so many ahead. It's ridiculous. And really, honestly, I'm going to film all these ones tomorrow. Hopefully, these are all top waters. Monster Bass, thank you for the bag, because I'm using it. There's frogs in here. There's a lot of frogs and other stuff. And then you saw that ICBM. I got X Zone sent me some, 6 Cent sent me some, Divine Shaky Heads. X Zone sent me some. If someone drop shots and you want these, you can email me. These are from X Zone. These are the, what are these called? The Pro Series Slammer. They sent a lot of these. I mean, a lot. So we got a lot of, here's another one. I don't even know what I'm going to do with these. I got some Mega Bass stuff. You can see there I used one. Got some Mega Bass stuff and a bunch of other stuff. Shimano Colt Snipers. The new Colt Snipers floating and the high pitch came out. So Shimano sent me those. So there's a lot of good ones. And then also some spinner baits. This is the Apex Underspin Elite. That is a badass underspin. I mean badass. Let me see. I haven't even brought up. You just brought up the whiteboard. I would like to see the Revolver. You want to see the Revolver vid? Hold on. Fisherman 83. You want to know it? Hold on. Where the hell did it go? Hold on. I'm looking at the other thing. I'm going to show it to you right now. Just for you. You've always been very nice to me and send good things and comment and all that other stuff. I'm going to let you guys see it right now. Here you go. Hope. Hello and welcome back. Today you and I are going to take a closer look at the Guggen Baits Revolver. I'm about to drop some serious knowledge on you. In 1921, one of, or the first, plopping bait was released called the Roberts Mud Puppy. Then, numerous years ago, Larry Dallenberg relaunched the version called the Whopper Plopper. And to say this bait hasn't been highly successful would be an understatement. Be honest, you have at least one Whopper Plopper in your tackle box, don't you? If you said no, we might have a problem. And yes, that's another stupid joke, please. Now, from Guggen Baits is the Revolver, which has a different take on this topwater lure. The Revolver offers a rotating fin in the center of the body, and this bait offers a slight body jitter. They built and designed this bait with a flattened tail that makes this bait land upright on every cast. This bait has a large number 2 strong treble hooks and offers lots of plopping noise when retrieving in this lure. But let's do a side-by-side comparison and see and listen the Revolver versus the small Whopper Plopper. The Revolver is 4 1/4 inches and weighs 1/2 ounce. It is available in 9 colors and retail price is $12.99. For more information about this product or the products used in this video, please see the links in the description below. Do me a favor, if you like the content, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. And I always try to reply to all the comments, so comment below, click that like button, and make sure you hit the notification bell too. Thanks for watching our closer look of the Guggen Bait Revolver. Remember, take a kid fishing, get your fish on. We will see you soon. Cheers. I want to personally say thanks for watching the video. So do me a favor. There you go. Hope you guys like that. I'll put it on. That won't. I don't have any idea when I will put that one up. I'll let you answer John's thing. I do work. I have done a lot of work with Z-Man. Yes, the weed guard is really tough. You gotta kind of finagle that. One of the things I found with those really soft plastic baits is as crazy as this sounds, if you can dampen the hook a little bit or wet the hook, it goes through the bait a lot easier. But Z-Man makes some of the best products out there. At one point, Z-Man was one of the tackle sponsors. So I've done a lot of stuff with I don't know his name right off the top of my head, but the great products, and I would say, you know, you just gotta work with it. Mason, hopefully I'm coming over there soon. Actually, Mason, Callan, and I were over there on Friday fishing. The Revolver sinks to, yeah. The one thing I found about the Revolver is it didn't have as much noise as the super small Whopper Plopper, in my opinion. And while it casted really well, I wanted that. That same noise that you can hear from a distance that just calls fish in. Will I use it? No, it's a giveaway. It's in the giveaway bin already. So if someone that will, maybe I'll put that in a box for somebody for the 6,000. So yeah, we'll see. So thank you. You're welcome, fisherman. Megabass makes this buzzbait called a V4 twin prop. It is a finesse buzzbait. I would like to get one, but the hookup tackle is, yes. Megabass makes some of the best baits on the market. To be honest, Megabass, Megabass. What the hell is it? Now I'm just bringing the whole box over now. These are all closer looks that I'm working on. The Megabass Spark Shad, these ones. This is a really, really nice bait. Really nice bait. Callan and I used them this weekend. Callan uses a lizard. I use these, and I think I caught 1 or 2 fish off of it. It might have been the smaller size, though. This is the smaller size one. Good looking baits. And they catch fish. They have a good wobble in them. Really good wobble to them. Really good wobble to them. But Megabass makes some of the best stuff out there. I have a bunch of Megabass spinner baits, and I don't think there's anything. I don't think they've done anything wrong. I will say the one problem about Megabass is that they're very expensive. They're very, very expensive baits. So but you get what you pay for. There's certain things that I think you should pay more money for. I think there's certain lures that are better because of the price, because of the quality of components. I think there's a lot of great chatterbaits out there. There are a lot of great chatterbaits. But if I'm gonna buy one, I'm gonna buy a jackhammer. And there's other ones that are like our boy. I'm completely missing everyone's name. But there's a couple that are $4 or $5 that work really well. But the jackhammer really starts exceptionally fast. I mean, exceptionally fast. And the speed of that and the vibration that bait makes, I just don't think there's any way to compare it to it. And really, I've been working on a closer look that compares the jackhammer versus the stealth blade. I might even say, and I might be spoiling this, I think the stealth blade actually starts up faster and the blade works faster, but it doesn't have as much vibration that it puts out compared to the stealth blade. And the stealth blade has that great noise where the jackhammer has that great noise and the stealth blade does not. But both of them are fantastic baits. If you've got a pressured pond and you like fishing really, 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 really fishing chatterbaits, the stealth blade is hands down, it's unbelievable. Both of them are fantastic baits. I would say the Thunder Cricket is a great one too. I would also say, as crazy as this sound, the Picasso Lures chatterbait is as good as, it's really, really good. It's really, really good. That one really surprises me, and that one I think is like $9. It may be maybe $9.99 or $8.99, and that one really is as fantastic as most of them. There's a little drop off in it, but both of them are great. And if you put the right trailer to it, it even makes it even better. The Thunder Cricket is really good too. I like the Thunder Cricket a lot, but I haven't had as much success on the Thunder Cricket. They sent me a bunch of them, and I have a lot of those too. But, it doesn't do it. The Thunder Cricket doesn't start as fast. And I found that the one thing about the Thunder Cricket is sometimes you got to give it a jerk, a twitch of the rod to get that blade to start working. And I don't like that, because I think when you make that, sometimes you make that cast, and when it hits the water, you want that thing to get started as soon as it goes, because you have that certain strike zone that you're casting at as is. That 1 or 2 foot that make that twitch to make that blade get going. I think that is, you can miss certain fish in that little gap, that 2 or 3 foot, whatever it is. And I found that the Thunder Cricket sometimes needed a twitch. I will say the Picasso never needed a twitch. Of all the times I've used it, I don't twitch it. If you don't have a trailer on your jackhammer, the jackhammer does this. It's nowhere in a strike zone, and that's the one flaw in it. But I mean, Hank said, yeah, there's the one. I forgot, Hank. The Wesley Warbird's $4 from, honestly, that bait is a great chatterbait for $4. That one's one of those stupid ones that just makes you think, well, where the hell is the $16 going for Z-Man? And I love Z-Man. I love Z-Man. But it's just that. Let me see. Got something put together for you, Steve. Oh, thank you, Derek. I appreciate that. I'm going to send something out to Moss Fishing Adventures. I'm going to send him hopefully he doesn't watch this. I'm sending him a box of little goodies. Of just, unbox this. I hope you enjoy it. It'll be great. Thanks for the tip on the blade. Yeah, I mean, we all have our favorites. So this is a great conversation. We could really have a conversation about this. There's a lot of great stickworms. I know my boy Les lives and dies stickworm with a Gary Yamamoto stickworm. He lives and dies by it. He can catch Cinco. He can flat out, he'll outfish most of us with that bait. Me personally, and this is just me personally, I use a DOA 8-inch worm or DOA Cinco all the time. There's sometimes I got that box from Berkeley the other day, so I started using that. Their stuff, and I felt guilty for using their stuff, but what you're confident in is how it helps how you fish. So that has a big deal of when you are out fishing. If you're confident with that bait, you fish it differently. You fish it slow, and when you have that confidence, you always consistently know what to do. And there really is stick baits. Really, there isn't a huge difference in stick baits. The Yamamoto has a great flutter, but I'll be honest, so does the DOA worm. The DOA worm is a worm that people don't know enough about. I've talked to Mark, the maker of it. I've told him, I'm telling you, people don't know how great his worms are. And he didn't just make it and use somebody else's stuff. I know for a fact that he spent years working on the worm. I remember going and seeing it in its infancy at the DOA place, at the packaging, and him letting me see it and going, well, we have these little tweaks we want to do. He made those tweaks, used it, and then that's it. And that's why that's what really irritates me the most about that Guggen bait, that toad, is because I believe if they did the research and the testing, they would have known that they couldn't put an undurable product out on the market, because they sold hundreds of thousands of those. And when you have one bad pack and you realize, well, I don't even get one fish out of each one, why are you going to go back and buy it again? They might make it durable, good for them, but then you've lost the confidence in it. And they've sold all these packs of these baits that are just, they fall apart. It's ridiculous. Okay. Let me get off my little thing. That's what causes the blade to vibrate sooner. Yeah. Let me put that. It's the tip of the blade. The jackhammer bend is nearer to the regular chatterbait. Yes. Outside of Z-Man chatterbait, the Picasso shock blade is really, really good. Yeah, I agree. It's one of the best. I like the Ocho. I understand. Steve, I need a couple fire crawl jackhammers. I heard they're out of stock till 2022. So I make my order of Z-Man stuff a year in advance, and I haven't gotten anything in a year. They're out of stock of everything. I mean, I just did my stuff for Shimano, and I mean the stuff I got from Shimano. Hold on. These were ordered roughly 14 months ago. They just came in 2 days ago. Everybody is out of stock of everything. Berkeley is going up in prices. Everybody is out of stock. I should mention, I think I mentioned it. I should have went over to that. If anybody's in an extra large and they want, hold on, I'm going to grab them. I have 3. That's it. 3 extra large. First 3 people that email me, I will send them this. It is a Shimano. What do they call this? Of course, the tag is backwards. It's an extra long, like, hoodie, sweatshirt kind of thing. It's a hoodie, nice done. It says Shimano on it. I have 3 of them that are the exact same color. If you want them, they're yours. So there, that's my giveaway for the night. So anyway, so everybody's out of stock of everything right now. Fishing is up. That was one of the things I had mentioned. I have a thing here, right here, that talks about fishing sales. The 2021 fishing report shows that fishing rose 18% over the last year. Youth participation grew from 50 to 13.5 million total participants. Hispanic people went from had an all-time high of 4.8 million people, a 13% increase. We had a 20%, almost 20% million female fishermen, female anglers, which was an all-time high, and nearly 1.8 more women went fishing prior from 2020 to 2019 to 2021. Fishing is just it's ridiculous. In 2020, 8.8 million anglers lapsed out of the sport. That's the one problem with it they had. They said most people that are 55 and over are not fishing as much. So there's a younger crowd that are fishing, and fishing is just it's unbelievable. Throwing that in the garbage. So it's really hard to get stuff right now. You know, it's I don't think we're going to see. I don't know if we're going to see it get any better. I think products, like Hammer says, it's really hard to get materials right now. So, you know, it's just how it is. There's so many more people fishing, and you know, COVID's still going crazy, which is ridiculous. So it's a great thing for us as an industry. I will say, I think a lot of people have stopped spending money on marketing because of it too. So, you know, there's something to be said of that. DOA color, what do I like? So, Chris, I only use black and blue. It's my confident color. If you've ever seen any of the, if you probably wonder, well, why does Steve have all these black frogs in his closer looks? Because I like black frogs. That's the truth. If I'm going to get something from somebody, I don't want it green and white and yellow or chartreuse. I want it the color I'm going to use. So I ask for black frogs or dark frogs. That's what the truth. If I'm going to throw a frog, it's going to be black. Just how it is. It has a better silhouette in the dirty water, and I'm confident with it, and that helps quite a bit. So where can you buy DOA lures? You can go to DOAlures.com. They have like I call them and just, there's a guy named Chris at DOA Lures. It's one of the best guys in the whole world. I call him and say, hey, is there any possibility you can send me worms? And they come in giant bags. And then I give them to Les. I don't feed him. I give him to Les so he doesn't have to buy them. I mean, they make a great product. Great product. I think, Derek, you just emailed me. Hold on. I'm going to open my email. So, yes. Derek and Fisherman83, you guys both have shirts. I have one left. Do they still make the Max Scent flatworm? I think they do. I'm not sure. Berkeley sent me that package, and I've used some of the stuff. They sent me some Trilene. I can't use the Trilene because of Power Pro. So I have some braid and some other stuff in there that might be giveaways too. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, those stimulus checks help this. Yes, Gambler, the toad is one of the best too. I agree. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. Yeah, Derek said it perfectly. Buy Chattery's black. Well, you want to know what the jackhammer though has that hand-tied custom trailer. You don't really kind of want to mess with it. And really, you want to know one of the main differences in the the jackhammer and the stealth blade is that they have a different skirting, a thinner skirting. I can tell you firsthand because I've been working on this video for like 4 months. If you look at the size of the thickness of the skirting on both of them, so this one over here is the stealth blade right here. See the clear one? And then you have a jackhammer here, but you can see how much thinner it is. Also, the jackhammer has a lot more of them in it. And really, the best thing about the jackhammer is those two right there, the trailer keepers. That's one of the best things. That's why I love this one too. This is my color right here. I mean, this is my jam right here. But I don't know if I change out the. You can by all means. You know. This is how it is. Okay, well, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Thanks for doing this. Make sure you give this a thumbs up. Help me grow the channel. Tell your friends. Tell your mama. Tell your daddy. Kick your sister in the face. Tell them about the channel. I'm joking about that. But there's a little truth behind that, too. Why can't I use Trilene? I've been with Shimano for... Oh, David, you got the last one. I've been with Shimano for I don't even know how many years. And I'm when you really get to know me, I'm really really ridiculously loyal, and it's a fault. It comes down to a fault, to be honest. So if I'm using a Shimano product, I want to also use the products that are in their family brand. So while I know that, hold on. While I know that these are two very good quality products, they're very quality products, I'm just loyal to a T to Power Pro. It is. They send me, when I ask for something, they send it to me, even though it takes forever to get to me. They do send it, and because they've done that for years and years and years, I continue to stick with them. It's like Costa. We've had Costa for 10 or 12 years. Do I think Costa makes the best sunglasses on the market? No. Do I think they make a great sunglass? Yes. But they continue to send sunglasses to me and other stuff that allow me to not have to spend my money on sunglasses. And I can't even tell you how many pairs of sunglasses I have. I give them away. I have so many pairs of sunglasses. I use a sunrise in the morning because I think you can see the fish better. And then as the day goes by, I do other things like that. So it is, it's just how I am. It's like friends. I mean, there's very few friends that I won't do anything I can to give you anything I have. That's the truth. I don't mind sharing or giving stuff that's mine that might help you, that might save you a couple dollars. That's the God's honest truth. I've given away rods and reels and all sorts of stuff for years. Not only to the hook kids on fishing events, but to my friends because maybe they were on a hard time. You want to let me try to brighten their day. It's not about just me. Really, I don't want it to be about me at all. And if you ever see some of my closest friends, they will tell you, you come over here and you see me, I will send you home with stuff that you might not use, but at least there's a possibility you'll use it. And if I'm not using it, I don't mind giving it to you. That's except the whiteboard. You're 100% right. I don't. Derek asked, "Do I use fluorocarbon?" I only use fluorocarbon if I go saltwater fishing. I tie directly from braid directly to a hook. I don't. I learned that from Boyd Duckett like 10 years ago. I was at a elite event at Lake Okeechobee, and I watched him take a black marker and black marker out his line for like 20 feet, and he was tying his knots, Palomar knot, directly onto their hook from braid. Now he blacked it out, and that's a little pro tip. But when I saw him doing it, I thought, well, if he can do it, I can do it. So I've changed everything that way. If I go bass fishing, I tie direct. Now, if I go saltwater fishing, I tie on a fluorocarbon braid, fluorocarbon leader for sure, because I think fish, they see it a little bit better. I think they see it. And I also, when I go saltwater fishing, if I'm targeting a fish that's 30 inches, I use 30 inches a leader. It's just what I've been taught, So that's it. Okay, let me just make sure I say hello to everybody. Chris, Les, Booster. Thanks for the great night and live show. Thanks, Jeff. Jim, thank you. Good night, everybody. Except the whiteboard. That's true. Thanks, Hank. Hank comes over and I'll give Hank anything he wants. Yeah, Johnny, if you wish, if you're in Florida, by all means, that's come on, see me at David. Thank you. Derek again. And yes, how many times did I find a pile of lures on my Jeep bumper after we fished together? Every time Hammer comes over or every time we fish together, you should fish this, do this, do this. So to keep it real, there's a lot of times I'm not paying for this. I'm not paying for that stuff. It's the truth. The radio show and this, people, want me to use their products. So I do. I believe Shimano is the best. That's the truth. So I use their products and they send them to me. And if I have extra, I give them away. I want someone to use them. And if they're going to help you, I don't mind giving them to you. So there you go. You guys know me a little bit better. Okay, I'm ending this up because it's been a long ass time. Callan, you should be asleep, son. Well, it's not your bedtime yet, but you should be asleep. Callan, I should say Thomas is home for the next 2 days. I don't want to go into it. We had a COVID issue at school, and we are home for 3 days. So thank you, COVID. I would swear there, but I'm going to get in trouble. So thanks, you guys, for being part of this. Next week, Mr. Bass. I think I want to call it the Mr. Bass Get Your Fish On show. I want him to have the credit for it. It was his idea. He should get first credit of it and first billing. So, and I don't mind I'm a better team player than an I player. So we'll have that on Wednesday, I think. We're going to have a good time. It should be a lot of fun. Go check out his channel. Check out all that stuff. I appreciate you guys being here with me. Thumbs up, subscribe, and help make this channel bigger, please. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's all right. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Remember, take a kid fishing. Get your fish on. We will see you guys soon. Cheers, guys.